Hey folks, welcome back, and thank you for joining me again this week. I'm actually back in Jomtien. I'm staying at the S Club Hotel. Great price for this one, and I've actually got a pool view, so it can't be too bad. It's actually Soi 14. I put a map up to show you where I am. It's actually next to the TJ Hotel I stayed at a little while ago now, probably about 6 months ago I stayed there, and that was quite a nice hotel. So yeah, let's go and have a look around this one, and I'll show you around. So check-in was 2 PM. I did arrive a little bit earlier, as I tend to, but there was no chance of getting in the room. So I basically went away for lunch and come back at 2. No deposit on the room. And my room actually come with a pool view. As you can see, all the rooms face onto the swimming pool, which is normally you pay a bit extra for, so that was quite nice. And my room was room 11 in the corner, and I could just about see the swimming pool. Right, let's have a look at this room. This is a little bit different, this one. It's just a square room. Probably about 20 square meters, something like that. So anyway, we come in, there's a bench with a sharp television, probably 40-inch. Various sort of menus. And they've got their own coffee shop and things. So we've got fried rice chicken, 89 baht. It's not the end of the world. And then we've got socket, chair and a fridge, a couple of glasses. There's no kettle or coffee or water or anything like that. So there's 2 waters in the fridge, but there's no kettles or tea or coffee or anything like that. A couple of mirrors, air conditioning, which actually blows to the side of the bed rather than on it, which is quite nice. Quite a new air conditioning unit, I would say. Hanging space, a little safe. I think it's a key operated one, so you've got to go to reception to get the key for that, because it's locked at the moment. Little somewhere for your suitcase. And then a bed. There's sockets either side of the bed, but there's no bedside units. It's quite a large bed, probably 6 foot. And then we've got a bit of modern art, skull or something. And then you've got a little veranda out the front, so you've got full width patio doors and a chair and a table to sit outside, because if you have breakfast they actually bring it on a tray to your table outside. And I've actually got a pool view, which is normally hotels you have to pay a bit extra for the pool view, but it's just over there. So we're going to have a look at the swimming pool in a minute. Alright, it says keep locked, so we better do as we're told. So there you go, that's the room. Alright, let's have a look at the bed while we're here first. So as I say, 6 foot bed. I think it's a 1-piece mattress. Quite bouncy actually. It's definitely a continuous sprung one, but yeah, that's compared to what I've had recently, that's actually quite soft. Yeah, so let's have a quick look at this side. Yeah, that's not too bad at all. Right, let's have a look at the ensuite while we're here. So a large ensuite, the whole back of the unit. So you've got a big shower. In fact, let's go this way. Let's start. That's probably better. So you've got a toilet hose, toilet paper. Don't put toilet paper down the toilet. Got a couple of pots of what I assume is soap, and then shower caps, toothbrushes, quite a large sink and mirror, and then your two-piece shower. Let's try it. Let's point it that way. Oh, it actually comes out of both ones together. So. All right, so that's just a handheld, so that works quite well. And they both together. I'll have to fiddle around with that, see if we can just get it out the top one. Yeah, so a nice large bathroom. Right, let's do the blackout test next. There is actually nets, so we'll do the nets first. Yeah, they're definitely blackout curtains. It's lovely and dark in here now. Yeah, so you could definitely sleep in here, no problem during the daytime. It's super quiet, there's no noise at all anywhere. You know, you're a long way away from the road. There's no bars or anything. So that is pretty good. So we pulled the nets, I think, give yourself a bit of privacy. There we go. Let's do the long shot on the bed. So we do the long shot of the bed, there it is. And we'll do a long shot of the room over here. So it's not a bad room. I'd say it's probably 20 square metres, this room. Might be a bit bigger, with quite a large sort of bathroom. And I think for what I've paid for this for 2 days, it's not too bad. So yeah, let's go and have a look at the rest of the hotel. So my final thoughts on the S Club hotel. This is actually not a bad little hotel, this. Yeah, for what I paid for it, it's quite a nice sort of sizable room. It's got a nice big sort of bathroom with it. You've got a pool view. It's nice and quiet at night time. Other than sort of, there's a bit of music. I think I was actually a little bit confused with the name. Because it's S Club Hotel, I thought it was a bit like S Club, as in the band, Hotel. Obviously nothing to do with them. But no, it's actually S Club and Hotel. Yeah, and in the evenings, the music starts playing, and sort of a lot of people sit outside. Well, not I'd say a lot of people, a few people sat outside with the music playing. And it kept going probably until about 2 o'clock, which was a bit of a shame, really. But that's really like, I mean, it wasn't loud, but you could hear it, you know, and it's sort of a hotel in this, because we're in Soy 14, a hotel in this Soy I thought was going to be super quiet. And last night was actually a bit of a storm going on, and you could hear like the patio doors, the old-fashioned patio doors, and they were sort of rattling away. But other than that, yeah, it's not too bad. The bed's quite firm. But again, it's not an uncomfortably firm bed, but it is quite a firm bed. But I slept all right, you know, not too bad. Air conditioning was lovely, works really well. It runs to the side of the bed, so it's not actually blowing on you. It's actually been on all night, and you can't hear it at all. So yeah, so I actually had to change rooms. My first room didn't actually have any hot water. When I actually looked, the hot water heating unit had been removed. So if you do come here, I would say don't have room 11 because there's no hot water heater. I'm guessing they probably will put a new one in. Yeah, so I ended up having to change rooms, which was a bit confusing because the girl on reception didn't quite understand what I was on about. But when the manager came out, there was no problem, so we changed rooms. There's no tea or coffee or kettle. Again, I think there's different types of rooms. I'm not really sure what they are. This is obviously a standard, cheap as you can get room. And I think the next level up, I think you get a kettle and you get a bit more of a swimming pool view. But I mean, you know, I can see the swimming pool fine from here, so it's literally the kettle. But anyway, I don't know. So the actual room itself is quite a nice room. Yeah, it's quite sizable. So the internet worked fine. I put the speeds up as normal. Television, I couldn't actually get anything on the television. There's a few Thai channels, but yeah, I couldn't find anything, and I didn't really pursue it that much. There's no safety box. Yes, there is. Sorry, there is a safety box, but you need a key for it, which again I haven't bothered using it. But other than that, it wasn't too bad really. It's nice to have a bit of a pool view for a change, rather than, you know, so that's quite nice. And obviously all the rooms have pool views, and obviously there's no extra charge. Well, I assume there's no extra charge for that. A little bit of parking outside. There's you pull off the road. There's about 6 or 7 spaces maybe, but you could actually park in the road. I don't think with too many issues if you wanted to. Bed was quite firm, although I slept all right. It's a sort of a standard Thai firmish bed, but yeah, I slept all right. The air conditioning runs to the side of the bed, which is quite nice, so it doesn't actually blow on you. And it was super quiet. I mean, it's been running all night, and it's even on now, and you can't hear anything, so which is quite good. Check-in was 2 o'clock. There was no sort of checking in early. It was a strict 2 o'clock and after. I did arrive a bit early, as I tend to, and she wasn't interested at all. It's basically come back at 2 o'clock, and we'll check you in at that point. So yeah, I just basically went for lunch and come back. No deposit on the room, and you just get one key, which is the old-fashioned sort of key and plastic topper, whatever you call it. To make the electric work. And when you leave, obviously electric comes out. If you want the room cleaned, you actually have to hand the key into the reception, because obviously there is only one key, so they can't actually get into the room to clean it, which again I didn't realise, because I went yesterday and said at 3 o'clock, so like, my room hasn't been done, and after a bit of sort of to and fro, we established that I had to leave my key. So again, if you do stay here, that's worth knowing. But other than that, all in all, I'd say this is not a bad hotel. I mean, what did I pay for it? I've actually been here 2 nights, room only. You can get breakfast, but I haven't had it on this one. And it was 1,455 baht for the 2 nights, which works out at 727. Which, bearing in mind we're now high season, that's actually pretty good, I thought. It's quite a good location. You can walk to the end of the road, pick up your back bus. I did that last night. It takes literally 10 minutes. I timed it. It was door to door. I went soi 5 for my dinner, and it took 10 minutes. So that was, quite good. And coming back again, you just get the back bus along the seafront, get off at number 14, and you can just walk up probably a couple of 100 yards back to the hotel. So it's actually quite easy to get around. So there you go, I'll leave this one here. I'll say thank you very much for watching, and as always, if you can give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done, I always appreciate that if you can do that. And I'll say thanks so much for watching, and bye for now. Hey folks, welcome back and thank you for joining me again in Jomtien again this week, and I'm actually staying at the S Club. As the song goes, no one parties like the S Club do, something like that, wasn't it?